Hello again. We're back. You may be like, wow, this is some interesting Aquilons or models here. That is because, I'm sorry I'm late. I had no food for breakfast, had to go get some, and it took longer than I thought. Sorry. I also need to eat it, so that was the other thing. But today we are doing Aquilons, and you know, we're still inevitably kind of just going to be going to whenever we go to. So, first up, so to show kind of the look of them, if you will. This is our end goal product. I need to sort out my lighting here. Because they're like, get it close. I really got to bring it up here. So, hold on. Let's, focus, please. Focus. Yeah, let's do this. There we go. Oh, I'm on manual focus. That's why. Haha, makes sense now. There you are. This is what they're designed to become. Oops. There you go. Yeah. This is what they're meant to be. I think I'm very much reaching the edges of its like close focal distance. Yeah, I don't think it gets. I think it can get much closer to the lens, which is a bit far when you think about it. But I guess it doesn't like it, so that is what it is, I guess. But yes, so this is what they'll look like. This kind of jade orange pattern here. I tend to actually like it quite a bit. So, and then actually I should grab the paints here. I haven't done that yet. So the colors for it are is this let me slide these guys over for a moment here. We're using transparent orange. Okay. That's fine. Let's turn this up a little. Oh, I also know an issue here. Hold on. I took pictures yesterday. I'm an idiot. Hey, this looks so much better, doesn't it? There we go. That makes sense now. I was in my photos mode. Okay, this makes way more sense now. All right, there we go. So yes, we got Pro Acryl. Let me show this again, just because it would. I want to give it a better look here. So we've got this. This is what we're going for. Actually, I could turn this down now. Now knowing this, and I've got a really high tech setup here, where I just got like, I literally just have my light like, just like flopped onto the ground. I went too much. Alright. But yeah, so we've got so this is what we're looking for. Okay, you can kind of see a pretty good orange detail here. Like the jade kind of mechanics for the most part, and armor. So fairly simplistic, but still with enough detail to just be a good kill team model. So I also have not, hold on, I forgot to put up my, all right. Sorry. Forgot to put out my going live tweet. All right. Oh yeah. There we go. Oof, did not mute myself. Okay. So we've got a bunch of white guys here. Not just me, but like primed white. I do have, where did I put it? Oh, here he is. I don't know, he's all over here. I have also got who needs to get, someone who needs to get their magnets cleaned up, but prior to, other than that, I do have this boy as well, but I can't paint him the exact same method because he's going to have more metal. I also need to clean these magnets. So he'll kind of be last and just kind of waiting off to the side here. And we're going to do a quick batch thing with these guys. So, oh yeah, let's go back to the paint. I'm so disorganized. But I'm excited. I'm excited nonetheless. So we're going to be utilizing then Dark Jade is going to be kind of our base coat for most of the parts. Then metals. Where'd my metals go? Oh, there they are. The one I'm looking for fell over. All right, then we'll make use of the Army Painter Bright Gold. And then we will need, not ready for our hardened leather speed paint. This will be for the boots. And then our good old, even though this is technically an airbrush, I actually just use it. I do still use it for the guns on their own. And, you know, it works out. I would say it works out. It looks nice. You know, it works nice. I like it. Good looks. And all right. I think that's it. Oh, I will need this for just some accenting, but this is mostly just for like if they have any data pads or anything like that, which might get mixed with this. But these are kind of in a as needed basis, so they'll just kind of be off to the side in case I need them. But yeah, so the first thing we got to do is I have to we have to. I didn't pull out my thinner. One moment, I forgot my airbrush thinner. We got it. This thing's still in here. I tried to test something this morning, and it was very much a failure. But I really locked it in. There you go. Problem is, it got in the way of my armrest. Alright, let me remove these. Get these decal sheets out of here. All right. So first up, okay, we're gonna need to zoom out here. So my Galeri GHAD 39. It's actually a very nice airbrush. I've actually had, honestly, I've been very happy with it. It's been awesome. You know, like, yeah, I think it's just worked super well, and I do think it's done me good. There you go. All right. I switched to the bigger cup. I felt like I was running into scenarios where I was in fact using a lot, and this might be one of them. Oh, do I have? Hold on. I need a little. I need a smaller mixer stick. Where did I put those? I thought I brought them in here. I think maybe I left them exactly where next to the acrylic thinner, actually. Yep. Yep, did the same thing. Okay. All right. I want to kind of be off kilter. It's been long enough. I do want to make sure that it's just really nicely shaken up. All right. All right, I can honestly just sit there. It's fine. I should have brought some napkins. I did not do that. Oh well. There we go. Okay. Oh no, we've got some bubbling. How are you bubbling? I deep cleaned you and then packed you. How are you bubbling? How are you clogged? What do you mean, bro? Oh, that's so annoying. Oh, bro, that's so annoying. Oh, 1 second. I'm gonna have to get some shit. Hold on. Oh, that sucks. All right. This is such a disappointment to have to start with. You hate to see this. All right. Put those down for now. Oh, you hate to see it, dude. The thing was, yeah, so my whole thing was I deep cleaned my airbrush. And then the worst part is now I have to open this freaking lid. Alright, trying to get it over into here. I was like, I have to open this lid while also holding the airbrush and making sure it doesn't tip over and spill everywhere. Alright. Yeah, I like deep cleaned it and then put it back in its original box. But it just apparently did not give a shit. All right. All right. Okay, we need to sort this out. I don't know how I'm this cursed to airbrush while streaming. I don't know how I am this cursed. Every time something goes wrong, I don't know how. I don't know how this happens to me every time. But yes, we're gonna sort this out. My guess is there's either just, you know, something's just a little bit amiss. Like one thing dried up somewhere, It's kind of always one of those types of things, you know? Yeah, the needle is poking through well enough that it definitely isn't symbolizing to me that there's like any form of like particular issue. Oh. I got scared because the tip, essentially like the aerator of the airbrush came with it. Where'd I put you? May need to just bring it up here for now. All right. Alright, we're just going to do a quick sample here. But this time we'll do it with just the airbrush cleaner, just to see that it's not bubbling. Alright, we're not bubbling. Oh yeah, that's what we like to see. Let's go. Okay. Okay. All right, over here. Okay. Back to the plan. Just double checking as we're going in here. I'm mixing off camera. Sorry, I'm just trying to, because I'm trying to keep it kind of close. All right. There we go. Now we got that clean spray. That's what we want. Because while we are doing a pretty batch paint right now in this step, I do not want to necessarily just ignore or like blast everything like I was doing a priming, right? I don't really want to do that. I want to be relatively particular. You know, just like with some things, you know. Now, things that'll become orange later, that I don't care. Or even the brown. Like, if I get the leather, I get the leather. I'm trying to mostly just avoid the guns, if I can help it. Let me see here. Maybe I could be a little closer. Yeah. And then for example, then when I also get to the leader, my hope is to avoid his face. I'm gonna just help my frame of reference here, which is usually I use like this map. So at least now I know, like, as long as I'm in the mat, the cutting mat, I'm like aiming. I've got it in relatively in camera. Oh, I got that. Okay. You may not always see which one I'm painting on, but it's partly just kind of going to be the reality of me trying to record a batch paint. You know, I'm really going to end up being kind of everywhere. So one way or the other, I'm just going to end up painting kind of. The video is kind of going to end up being everywhere. Somebody's hand dropped a little bit from the magnet, but we'll get to a lot more up close and personal, like painting with these guys in a bit. So try to just kind of bear with me for this step. And you'll still see me like splash over bits or whatever, you know. Like I said, this is more about kind of getting a a relative coverage and trying to be semi-accurate, but not like crazy. Just trying not to be like super insano. And I will very much have to go off camera a couple times. That will just be how it is. Again, later when we're doing one model by one model, like one model at a time, that won't happen. At least not purposefully. That won't happen. I need a little mixing, I think. I also may just need to add more paint. It's a little runny looking right now. Okay. I think I just needed the mix, but I'll keep an eye on it. But yeah, okay, that's good, better. Some of it is also me kind of just getting too close, I think. Alright. No, I think I do need to just add more paint. I mean, the thing is, Pro Acryl is already like pretty thin. You really don't need to thin it a lot. The thing was, though, I think I ended up thinning this just a little bit extra, partly because honestly, I just didn't even know how much total paint I was going to need. Trying to just kind of spray up these knee pads. Oh wait, I think hold on, let me check my reference. I was like, actually, I think the pants are jade. They are. Okay, so maybe I do need to just kind of spray it up towards the bottom here. Oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey. Oh, I got a little crazy with the shaking. All right. Okay, let's calm down. I didn't take this out yet. At some point, I will have to build these. This is my Warhammer Plus freebie. I have a couple others coming in that I forgot to order ages ago. Fun fact about this, actually. So I'm a pleb. I've talked about this before. I'm a loser, and I have Warhammer Plus, right? And I like just having Warhammer TV. I like the shows, but then also getting these, you know, whatever. It's just fun. It's an added. It's just a bonus, and it does kind of keep me stringing along. But so I ordered this, and I had it delivered to my local GW store, and the guy, shout out to the manager there. He held this thing for like a year. It sat at that store for a whole year, and they like, as I would expect, they mostly generally only keep stuff around for like 6 months. But he was super cool, and he was like, I know I won't be able to reorder this. I know they're gonna show up eventually. I believe they will show up. And, you know, shout out to him, because, man, I would have been very sad. I would have dealt with it. I would have been fine. I would have got over it. I wouldn't have gotten mad, you know, at him or GW. I would have been, I just would have been sad, but I would not have been like, you know, I wouldn't have like Karened out or anything like that. Like I would have just molded and called it a day, you know? Just would have been Malden in the club right now. You know, it's funny. This kill team is one of the first times that I broke kind of one of my main, like what I would call honestly a dumb rule, but like a weird self rule that I imposed on myself. Which I imposed mostly to curtail me creating a pile of shame. But that was that I was kind of like, I'm not going to field I don't want to field a unit or an army without having them be at least painted. They don't have to be based, but they have to be painted. Let me look around here. Again, sorry, this part is not inherently going to be perfect for the camera. It's just an important step though, and it will make my life easier. Just getting these guys kind of all set up with the jade. That way I don't have to worry about it later. Okay, I have a couple. I have his chest to kind of do. Otherwise, undersides are looking pretty okay. And I mean, I'll keep. The airbrush will be nearby, so if I get to a model that kind of is a little questionable, I'll get to that. I actually kind of need to do this with this guy. I got to magnetize so that I can kind of just, you know, I don't care about WYSIWYG, to be honest, for the most part. I think WYSIWYG's kind of dumb 99% of the time. But I'm willing to make WYSIWYG work with magnets in general, but also in Kill Team. All right. So that's partly why it's kind of just like, all right, you know, it is what it is. It's actually probably why, if anything, what I should do. All right. Let me hold the Zege's grip here. The Zegean grip of arms. Okay. Put that over there. All right, we can pull these guys off now. I'll do some double checks individually here quick before moving on to the next step. All right. Yep, this is pretty much exactly what I'm trying to do here. It's especially a lot of the underside stuff that I really gotta kind of keep an eye on. Otherwise, just anything that was kind of maybe at a slightly more off angle that I couldn't hit so generally before. This one looks good. I'm gonna keep these guys over here so I can keep track of which ones I've done. There we go. You can kind of see the underside on this one has definitely got kind of well missed here. All right, that the thickness has gone down. That's probably from when I fucking whipped the shit out of this thing. All right, that's much better. Yeah, it's hard to see. Sorry, maybe I will zoom in. I felt like maybe I was not. It was hard for you guys to see when I would kind of shift positions with it, but I think now it's at the point where now it's not really even viewable in general. Okay, but I think we're good with this one. Like I said, when we get into the hand painting portion, it makes it. This will be way more visible. This guy's also magnetized, so I'm going to do a quick. Honestly, it's because it just makes it easier. Just do them separately. Luckily, this one I think got some decent cover. Got a good amount of coverage, so I think it's pretty well set here. Oops. Doesn't feel like it, but it might be getting wet again. Oh. Alright. Final one. Armless McGee here. Ooh. The face is getting more green than maybe I would like it to, but it's kind of where we're at. Maybe I can give it some dabs here. Oh no! I don't have it on the higher grip part of it. That's better for their base size. All right. Okay. Just in case I do need to do any quick touch-ups as we go here, I'll kind of have the airbrush just available. It shouldn't really dry out all too fast. But okay. Okay, I'm gonna do some shifting here because now we're gonna switch over to the wet palette. I need to somewhat organize these guys in a painting order when I dealt with them last. Hey, you. No. I need. No. I need you open. Can't let it deal with that. Beep. Bonk. Boom. Okay. Okay, yeah. Trying to wait for my stream to load here, so I can monitor myself still. Okay, let's grab. Hey, you know what? Man, dude, you can tell it's the first time I've done a painting stream in a while. I never did my, never filled up my cup of water. Moment. Alright, sorry about that. But now whenever I need to replace that water, I'll be in a very good spot to do so. Actually, I'm already seeing something I need to fix here. Oh my god, dude. I'm blind. Okay. This has a small spot, but I can work with it and I can just paint it now and then work with it. Okay. 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 Let's get going here. Oh yeah. Time for me to bring this down. Oh right, I have to re-white this first. I did forget that step. That's right, I do re-white them just to make sure that they pop well enough. But you may be looking at me and being like, then why the fuck did you just spray paint it? Or like, you know, why did you just like coat it? And it's like, well, again, it's the realm kind of just like, get a good full base in and then you can just add on top, you know, but you get that good thin base, you can kind of just do whatever you need to do. All right. I just want to see like kind of where I want to create a mark almost where my center is. That will be good enough for me to reference. I went a little over onto the extra bit here. I really need to get some brush butter for these. I noticed the backpack's blocking this part of the shoulder pad for you. My bad. There is in fact nothing I can do about that. That is unfortunately where that will have to live. There you go. You can see it now. This doesn't honestly have to be like, I don't even have to do like a 2 layers for this white, because the biggest thing is that it just needs to cover. This is going to be a little miscolored because it is a little fresh. I'm going to need to definitely water it down after every time. And then stay jade. I think that'll do better. This looks kind of bright to me. I want to be a little sloppy with that part because it's the edges are going to get gold anyway. So if it's not like crazy clean, it's not a big deal. I think I do need to get that. Oh no, that's gold too, so that's fine. I will note this is not a this is not a hobby project that I will exclusively do on stream like I did with the G-Quux, where I wanted to start and finish that on stream. This is not that. I'm doing these today because I didn't feel like building. But next week, we'll probably honestly do going forward. My thought was honestly that what we'll probably do is we'll probably do Resident Evil on Mondays, and then I can fix that up later. Fine. But yeah, and then hobby streams on Tuesday. That will likely be our MO. I actually didn't need to make that white. That's fine. Let's see. Oh yeah, then show the dang it. The knee pads and the elbow pads are all orange too. I made so much more jade than I needed to. Thought they stayed jade. I made a fucky wucky. No, I left that jade. Just the side ones I made orange. Sorry, I've realized I don't. Sometimes I get off camera and I don't realize. All right. I'll cover the whole thing, it's fine. Okay. This will need multiple coats. The fun part though is you can kind of tell where you'll need, like where it's needed. And like where is dry and what's not, because like it does become more opaque, you know, as it dries. It just but like it will also, it's just so transparent that like when it is wet, it's really easy to see what is wet still. It's, you know, perspective is very funny when you think about it, because you and I are probably looking at this model with a similar level of magnification. You just have a slightly different perspective than I do, because the camera's actually above and a little bit behind the model, and I've inversed the picture. But the you know, the model itself is inherently actually so small, and I really am not thinking about that going into this, because everything to me right now is so big, and I feel like that's what happens a lot when I watch, you know, like the speed paint, like, or just whatever, like any video of miniature painting. It's just like, you know, where it's just kind of like, wow, you know, like, it's crazy how big these models are, and then you like look at it and you're like, oh god, no. Oh, they're like, it's barely, it's half of my fingers in height, you know. Like, I have it set to 50. No, wait, hold on, this needs to be, it actually needs to be set more like this. So yeah, this is right. Oh no, wait, I think it's this. Okay, this is like how your eyes would look at this model. This is like the focal length where like your eyes would see, how your eyes kind of, this is supposed to be equivalent to the focal length of your eye, right? So this thing is barely the height of half of my pointer finger, and it's like, oh right, they're tiny. I think once we get through these orange bits here, I am going to re-up my water. And then also probably I will probably also get myself some gamer subs, because I think I could use the focal boost. You know, they don't advertise this, and you know, hey, gamer subs, hit me up. They're not going to. That joke doesn't work for me. Anyway, but honestly, like, it itself, and I would note, I would say another energy, you know, essentially energy drink that's very similar, that has a similar effect, But like it's like really one of the things that's like gamer subs with like the way it does its caffeine and like energy boosting. It's actually like really good for people with ADHD. Like I get way more focused and stuff when I'm like when I have it. Like I do way better. I'm way more efficient at like work and everything. Cause it's just cause I'm not like I'm getting the caffeine that like especially like my brain is almost like addicted to, but I'm not getting overloaded so much that I'm creating an adverse effect where my well, and that's the thing where my ADD becomes ADHD. So I really only have ADD, not ADHD. I just say that because of like the way it rolls off the tongue, and like it gets talked about. But if I have something like if I have like a bang, you know, which my God, don't drink that, please. As somebody who used to work in the health field, please don't drink bang. Anyway, the one that actually I feel like has kind of a similar effect though at being technically an energy drink, but not like, you know, like making it so that you think you can move things with your mind, is bubbler. Bubblers are actually pretty sick. Not gonna lie. Yeah, bubblers are actually pretty sick. I'm a pretty solid fan. What they're doing. Oh yeah, I'm done with this code. I should do what I said and go take care of the water. I'll be back. Okay. All right. Actually, I ended up grabbing there's a Mountain Dew I left over from last night, so. Hold on. This is, well, okay, this is at least here. I don't want to listen to Christmas music right now. This is Halloween time. See, this is what we need. Sounds exactly like the type of... This is Halloween-y. This is very Halloween coded. I can take this. This I like. I just wanted to make sure at least it was going through the same playlist. I was worried it was going to be like some like Trans-Siberian Orchestra shit. And I was like, I don't know where that sits in the copyright spectrum, so don't want to touch that really. All right. All right, now comes the gold. I like gold. Actually, because there's technically some gold on the gun I would want to end up doing. So I don't know if I maybe would want to wait to do that, the gold accents and stuff until I do the metal first. I should probably do that. I get to you quick. So because it's an airbrush paint, I actually don't even really thin it. I just kind of brush it on, and then I obviously will do some of the other metallic-y bits later. Yeah, so the thing is, realistically, I actually probably will not do... This may end up being the only model we actually, at least fully paint today. I mean, we're at... Put OBS back up here. We're at an hour and a half as it is. Granted, some of that was doing some... like, you know, dealing with crap and like the airbrush and all that, but like Yeah, I think I'm past the point though of actually using that airbrush now that I think about it. And before it potentially gets clogged and stuff again, I'm gonna be good. I'm just gonna get it kind of cleared out here. All right, I'm gonna zoom out. For now while I do this. Yeah, I mean, I think though, like, the like hobby desk has been a super great success. I like am immediately so like ready to tackle all these projects. You know, pretty much I think one of my plans will be kind of, there may be a number of surprise streams in the future. Where I just kind of do this, where I'll just kind of pop up and be like, hey, surprise, Warhammer stream. And, you know, it's like, we're going to build our paint or whatever. I want to revisit. I did a test scheme thing for Emperor's Children a bit ago now, but it was kind of just around when I got the box, and the one of the things that I was thinking of with that was going to be, I wanted to recheck with paint scheme, because I didn't want to do the just pure black and pink that the Emperor's Children kind of became. You know, I mean, it's a great scheme and I love it. I love the black and pink. Don't get me wrong. Black pink is in fact in my area and I love them. And I love it. But I never often like to really go straight. I almost never like going for box color anything, you know. I will likely do that with one of my character model things that I have, which is the I forgot her name. But she was the Celestian. Made this tip very soapy. Alright, everything looks pretty much clean. Okay, sorry about that. I kind of knew we weren't going to be, even if I was going to do some touch-ups on some of the jade, it's just going to be done with a brush at this point. So I wanted just to get to that. Oh, something else. My phone was like, I thought like something was popping up on my actual, on like the stream on my phone. It was just something, it was a notification. Okay, anything else metal? Yeah, the visor, that's it. Otherwise, no, not visor, but you know what I mean, the mask. Nope. Make sure, get the rest of the gun here. Yeah, I think we're pretty good here. Oh yeah, you. Okay. I'll have to fix part of that later. Hand slipped. All right. Oh yeah, actually technically we'll need the airbrush for one more thing, but that would have once again be kind of a big batch paint thing. So that would actually be much later. But that is the wash. I like to do the wash through the airbrush. No, I do not. I use an acrylic wash. I do not use I forget what it's called, but like it's from AK. It's like the Grim Dark in a bottle, as it gets called. But it's an enamel. It's an enamel based wash, and it is not okay to use in an airbrush. Don't do it. Okay, I think that's everything gold trimmed. I just needed to quickly hit up a couple white spots so that I can get the glow effects later. Otherwise, now we're on the hardened leather. I really want to try out, one of the things I really want to do actually is I really want to try out the speed paint markers. I'm trying to think of like a good project to like really give them a go, you know? Oh man, I needed to stretch my back up a little bit. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do for the base yet, to be honest. I haven't done any of the bases yet for any of these models. And I'm not 100% sure. I was thinking of making it something kind of more grasslandy. Alright, we'll have to come back for a second coat on this. On that. Oh, actually, no, I know now. We'll come back to this. This will have to dry. The shoes will have to dry. I remember I don't use hardened leather. I use also another air paint. I use the stuff for I use this stuff that I have for our bronze owls. Ugh. Man. Okay. So this is roughly though what we're expecting. Oh, I'm missing the glow thing I was talking about. I think for him, I want to try using the glow here. The data system glow, the green. I want to see how it'll look. And then I'll do some jade touch-ups as well. So I'm kind of. Sometimes I feel like I do need one of those paint shakers. Just so I can. Just for like in a scenario like this where if anything I would just borrow it. Just to like revive all my paints that have been sitting for a minute. All right, let this sit for a moment, kind of absorb in, and then I'm actually going to potentially switch after it dries out to the blue and kind of let them commingle. Let me see if I can kind of just dab off some of the excess that's building up on these boots right now, because this way I can kind of then get them ready. All right. Yeah, so I'm supposed to do this first, and then I put on the hardened leather. And the way they combine makes a very nice dark leather look. And I forgot that. All right. Time for me to start doing a little bit of touch-ups. All right, we're getting there. All right. And you just need those boots to dry a bit more. But we are about pretty much where we want to be. I need to remind myself quick though of... No, I did not do that. Okay. Yeah. So the thing is, the front chest piece is also would have orange, but this guy, it's pretty much completely blocked up, so I don't feel like doing that. Actually, but one thing I could do is I think I could get some of the gold in there, just so that you can tell like where the chest piece is kind of going. Yeah, that way you can just kind of see like the edges of the... This isn't for any golden demon shit, you know. This is to be table ready, you know. So now you can kind of at least see like, all right, there's where the shoulder pad or the chest plate starts. Hey, I've just noticed a point I made earlier was wrong. The butt piece is in fact orange. I guess I decided just to make the front piece not orange. Honestly, which I think I stand by. I think what it really helps with is it helps keep like the front. It helps keep some of the jade in the front, but then when you're in the back where there's a lot of jade and there's less orange, then it helps, right? So it's kind of like this good mix. Oh. I think honestly what I should have done, one of the things I probably could have done today though, just for funsies, would have been to finally do this Space Marine. But it's all right. I think that's what I screwed up with this, so let's see if I can scratch off some of this. Fun fact, if you didn't know, acrylic paint just fucking hates it hates alcohol. So see how like there was all this spray, like air, like there's this, like you can see like what was like embedded airbrush acrylic paint has just like completely washed away. Like it's been there for months. Some of that airbrush paint that's back here was here for months, and you could already go all the way back down to the red that it had. So like it's significant. It's not a acrylic paint and alcohol do not mix. They do not like each other. Where's my... Here you are. So yeah, better placement idea. Where to keep... my better idea now. Just to make it dry so I don't like get some shit all over myself. So now I know when I want to center it. It's gonna be twofold, I guess. Yeah, I guess I should have thought of it this way. Problem is, whatever. But I know if I put the model over that roughly, then I'm also good. So that's kind of the other thing. It's like twofold. I can kind of just be like, all right, model here, I'm good. There we go. All right, anyway. Sorry, instead of me playing around with this. Yeah, this has been a good time. I was waiting for the boots to dry. But no, this has been a good time. I'm happy that this setup really works well. And yeah. Poo. Hold on. Okay, good. Let that load. Okay. Yeah, it's like you're hunching so much and so often. You like it's just like you really lean into your back. I'm gonna have to do some cleaning on my magnifying glass. It's got a bunch of. I'm a real spitter, unfortunately. When I talk. Hold on, what are you? Why do I have? Hold on. I need to remind myself of something here. No. You would have to be for the captain. Why did I even bother? I'm never going to make the leader not that. I wonder if I just didn't have an understanding of something. So, okay, what I'm trying to think about here is I have these two bits that I magnetize, right? These two, this is like a right and a left arm, right? So conceivably for the leader, I would, I would set it so that it'd be like this. Which is probably why I'm thinking it's not this, because this doesn't seem to fit at all. And I usually try to match these up. So, and everyone else that I have painted is not magnetized. And then, similarly, nobody else. Is magnetized. I don't understand why I have this because I mean, I guess I clearly did maybe magnetize it for this, but like, it's really off. Like my magnetization is not built for this at all, clearly. Because this wouldn't work because there'd be this huge gap in the back. So like the idea would be like, he's about to plug in or something. The idea would be that like she's about to plug in, something like that. But it doesn't really work. So I don't know. And I would never, there's no reason to ever use the captain with that, like the leader. I would use one of these. Not this one specifically, but like I'd use one of this grouping, So like I don't know. I mean, I kind of know. I know this is for it. I just don't honestly know why I even bothered to keep it around. Where'd I put that Melta? I have a Melta gun somewhere. I set it down when we did the painting, the airbrush stuff. And I no longer know what I've done with it. Oh, it fell onto my lap. That was funny. All right, boots are probably set now. Oh yeah. Mm. So I'm kind of using the hardened leather speed paint here like a wash in a way. Just to help give a little bit more definition, a little bit more of that leather color and feel, but not having it so, you know, kind of hyper contrasty that speed paints often give. All right, so pre-wash, this guy's pretty much set otherwise. Oh, wait. I forgot about his booty plate. The booty plate. Yeah. Booty plate complete. Yeah, what I really also like about my desk setup, my hobby desk setup, is when I'm done with something or I need to move something, it's really easy to just get it out of my way. That was a whole thing of doing hobbying on my computer desk was such a hassle because like everything was almost always like in one way or the other it would get in the way. And it was such an annoyance. And like now that doesn't happen. We are basically like, you know, one way or the other, I can get anything I need out of my way. Man, this Grenadier unit, possibly one of my favorite in the whole team. And not for anything like technical or meta or whatever. You know, I don't give a fuck about meta. Meta mis huevos en tu boca. I don't give a shit about the kill team meta. I don't care. All I care about is playing with my dolls. What I love about this model was in the first game I ever played with them. So I'll try to recreate it a little bit. All right, so let's say I'll have it be sideways here so that there's a little bit of it's kind of like we can kind of, you know, create a slight like a different three-dimensional paradigm here, right? So okay, so we got this here, right? And then this is the floor below, and then we'll say this is the orc, or no, the Votann here. Now I've got a guy, let's say we'll put him like maybe up here more. So there's another Votann up there, and so he's just out of engagement range. So but he shot at me last turn, but he's out of engagement range, so I can move still without needing to, you know, run away or anything, right? So I want the objective down here. This guy's on an objective. It's essentially getting into the last turning point. I want to steal it because it's a race. He got there. I forgot which one it was, but it was the one where it's like essentially the first person to touch it every turning point is the one that gets it. We're near the end and really nobody's touched it this game. So I'm like, I want to get that because it was going to essentially get me all three objectives in this turning point, because I had the other two kind of squared up. So like I got a shot. So what I needed to do, so I gave him the thing that essentially gives him an extra APL. You know, he's out of my engagement range. He's farther back, so I don't need to cross him to get into it. So I used the 1 inch down to get over, right? I'm on the other side. I essentially skip down because it's kind of like this. So I'm able to skip down onto the other side of the objective. So remaining enough away to not be in melee range, but still touch the objective, and then chuck a grenade at this guy, exploding him. It was perfect. It was so good. I was able to jump down, touch the objective, blow that guy up, leave him up there alone, making it, and they don't, he had the jump X, I think technically he could come down really easily, but at that point, it was nothing for the kill op. And he still lived after that. The dude came after him and he still lived because I rolled well and my opponent did not. That's the shit that makes this a model a favorite model for no reason other than the fact that they did something cool in a game. So I love my Grenadier solely for the fact of how awesome that moment was. And like, even like my opponent even was just like, bro, like I know I rolled like shit, but he should be dead. And I love those. Those are great. We were both laughing about it. I was like, all right, look, because I had rolled a different grenade. I rolled a crack grenade earlier, and I rolled terribly. I rolled for a crack grenade, and it was bad. I got nothing out of the crack grenade earlier. So I was like, I gotta hope this guy's melt-a-bomb is gonna cook some shit. Otherwise, we're boned. Well, I wasn't boned. I was relatively ahead. It just sealed the game for me. It was just essentially like, make sure no matter what that I took over the crit op, which was my main op, was crit op. All right, so this is gonna be a little funky because he's got the grenade gear here. and where there would normally be the where there would normally be a lot of the where I would, or I should say, where I would normally have a lot of the where the chest plate orange would go, it's blocked by a lot of grenades. Which, you know, what a wonderful problem to have, but like, problem is I need that. So yeah, so I need to kind of sort this out a little. So for sure, we can see this. That'll be there. The top part, I think we can get in there. I'm gonna get kind of both where it's gonna be gold and orange, white here. I'm not super worried. A lot of that's gonna get covered with metal later. So it's kind of who cares? But I think I got about as much of that as I could. This is definitely also why I do the orange first, because anything that needs to just be covered in metal, like silver or something, can be.
On our
Forgot to get this, the skull and crossbones on the back. Watch is mad at me because I have not been. I've been sitting for a long time. Sorry, Watch. It do be like that sometimes. I'm hobbying. I'm painting here. Oh, I forgot the arms. I'll finish this pauldron quick and then I'll get to that. I feel like I put it in the right spot because I just hit like a weird bad depth perception moment there. Oh, and the elbow pads and the knee pads and the, oh my god. I forgot everything. I mixed up that elbow pad there. I'll fix up the jade parts that I screw up here. I'm just trying to look. All right. Whew. Oh man, the back. Ugh. The back is feeling it. It's actually like my upper back, so like by my shoulders, because the way because essentially I end up punching, you know. I'm gonna let the weird dubstep song play today. I'm in an okay mood enough where I feel like I can let it live. Yeah, just that way if I just fill the orange in there, then I can figure out where the gold needs to go later. I did forget to put white in the eyes here, the eyeglasses. I forgot the knee pads again. All right. Before we continue, I'm going to redo the water. Give me a moment. Ugh. All right. Okay. Hold on. Did it move away from my... No, it did not. It's just... Oh, it's... The song's literally called Between Rage and Serenity, which, you know what, for this playlist, I think, you know what, is sensible. The calm before the storm. Oops. There you go. My monitoring feed was not working with me. So unlike last time, this time I am going to use or do the gold first, because here there's not really a scenario where that they interject. And if anything, there's actually spots where I might get gold on something silver that I'll need to cover up. Like I just did with the grenade. So... I'm actually gonna see about, sorry, this is gonna be a little jarring. Let me do this. This will help. All right. Oh, fuck. Alright, I'll have to clean that up a little. It's not a terrible look for it, it's just not what I want, though. Yeah, so I actually, one of the things I might end up doing today is I may end up doing another stream later, but I might also just paint on my own without the distraction of the stream. Bro, also, anybody excited for Sweating Game to have a demo tomorrow? Fuck yeah, bro. Whew. All right, try to get some finishing touches done up here on and we can call this a stream. We got through 2 of these guys. That's actually pretty good, but I thought I would get. Alright, do some jade touch-ups, and I think we'll be able to get through the boots and be done. I felt it, my brush hit somewhere, and it surprisingly though wasn't anywhere I think that would have caused me any particular issues. All right, take that. Let me finish up with the cleanup first before I clean up the things that I fucked up while cleaning up. Maybe I should do that. All right, I think we're at boots time. I got a little jade spot that I kind of forgot about. And then I have an orange spot that needs to be cleaned up on this knee pad. All right, got him. All right, we got him ready to roll. I mean, I have to do the base stuff, but like I said, that's gonna be kind of done. I do like to do that. I only like doing basing after everything has been kind of painted. All right, that'll do it. That'll do. Thank you for hanging out. Anybody that's been here. Woo! Sorry. Oh man. Yeah, thank you so much. It has been a good week. I mean, doing the Gunpla stream was really fun. I was excited to do it. I was excited to have my first Gunpla, and yeah, now we can do even more, and I'm excited about that. So yeah, I don't know what I did to shrink myself here. There we go. But yeah, no, thank you so much for tuning in this week. I keep doing this. My bad. Thanks for tuning in this week. It's been super fun. It's just been different to do something else, and I'm excited to, continue to do more hobbying, to have more stuff kind of ready and available. So yeah, I think I'm really excited to get into Emperor's Children. There's going to be a lot of building involved in that. There's going to be some kit bashing too. So that's going to be a big thing. Because from what I learned is that there's a good amount of leftover bits. But what I've done, actually I'm going to go back here. Let me go back to the camera here. Let me show what my plan is. Give a sneak preview. So what I've done. Oh, weird. What I have done is I have grabbed a legionnaire, or a set of legionaries, and what I will be doing is I will be taking them, and I'll either take bits off, do whatever, and making them more Slaneshified, so that if anything, what I'll end up doing is actually like taking some of the weapons and other stuff off. And the goal is going to be, hopefully, actually, the other thing is the other goal is I'm going to find another set of legionaries. Because I found these secondhand. That's the goal. That's the number one thing I always try to do is I almost always am trying to have get models secondhand first. I very much make every attempt that pretty much whenever if I get a set of new models, that it's essentially just stuff like, what's his name? Like Ethan Sean. And probably, honestly, if I can find him, I'm probably going to try to find, what's his name? Let's see here. Let's see. 40K. Space Marines. White Scars. Don't tell me you've already put them at the bottom. Okay, no. Is he just not available in the store? Can you not buy them? Can you not buy them yet? Let me just hit up Space Marines. Oh, I guess he's not out yet. Oh. What's his name? But the new, okay, so what I'm talking about, the new White Scars kind of captain guy. I don't know, I forgot like what he's supposed to be, but I'll probably get him too, because like I said, I want to turn them all kind of into units for the Bronze Owls. So, which the Bronze Owls are essentially like effectively they're kind of a good mix between Raven Guard and White Scars Marines. So that's kind of one of their big thing that we made them to be. So yeah, and I mean they're the one I've slowly, that is an army I will be slowly building. Space Marines is one of those where it's just like, you just kind of start acquiring them, You do this hobby enough, eventually you just end up with some loyalist Space Marines. And then time passes and you're like, shit, I got a full-on loyalist Space Marine army. The difference will always be if you end up making them different colors. If you just keep making them different colors, then you do end up with a lot of very differently painted Space Marines, but see. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Return back Monday. Schedule should be out Saturday.